Just last month, there were Uber and Lyft drivers in California that dropped a lawsuit. Now, there's a reason why they dropped the lawsuit. You may say, well, what was the lawsuit about? The lawsuit is about exactly what I'm doing right now. It's about price fixing. So a group of Uber and Lyft drivers have dropped a class action lawsuit in California that accused the rideshare hailing companies of unfairly stopping them from setting their own fares as independent contractors. The drivers, in a filing on Wednesday, said that they dismissed their case, which had a major setback last year when the San Francisco Superior Court judge ruled that plaintiffs would be required to arbitrate their claims individually. So it didn't say that they didn't have a claim. It just said, you guys can't do a class action. You've got to file your claims individually regarding setting your own fares and how Uber and Lyft are violating your agreements. But see, Uber and Lyft, they won the ruling saying, from the client saying they should be declared employees with a broader range of benefits than independent contractors. But unlike those cases, the lawsuit alleged that the drivers as independent contractors should have control over setting their own prices. The lawsuit said that policies at Uber and Lyft deprive those drivers of economic independence by fixing the prices that drivers must charge and sought in order to end the practice. Ain't it funny how it says Lyft and Uber says the drivers are setting the prices? Drivers are not setting the prices. But it says Uber and Lyft, they deprive those of economic independence by fixing the prices that drivers must charge. That's why when you file your 1099, it says you earned $150,000. You earned $100,000, but your net income was $35,000, $40,000. Because they're saying you are setting the price as a driver. That's for you to set. But yet we don't have that independence to set that price. Uber and Lyft are setting that price saying this is how much the ride costs right now. You've got to pay that. The driver pulls up, driver gets $19, but it said you paid $60 for this ride. They're not giving drivers the independence to set that price and to retain that money. This is what the lawsuit was all about. And it says Lyft and Uber had quickly argued that those claims belonged in private arbitration based on driver contracts. The drivers' lawyers counted that plaintiffs had opted out of arbitration agreements and should be allowed to sue in court as a class action. But the judge says, no, we're not going to allow you to do it out of class action because first, the plaintiffs did not opt out of or attempt to opt out of all the arbitration agreements, and the court also struck down the case as a prospective class action. It's saying everybody has to sue on their own, which is why I say if Uber and Lyft want to deactivate me for doing what I do as an independent contractor, not their employee, I can market other apps. I can give people other options by saying, hey, there's another app that would charge you less. I would get paid more. You'd probably pay less. I can do that as an independent contractor. If I get deactivated, they're price fixing. They are now price fixing. So if they get hemmed up for price fixing, that means I can take them to court as an individual, not as a class action. I've already opted out of arbitration with them. I've opted out. So therefore, I can go to court. I can get an attorney, go to court. They cannot sue me and say, well, he's actually fixing his own prices. He's telling people how much he wants to drive for. Well, he's an independent contractor, right? Yeah. Then he should be allowed to say that. This is not a class action for one thing. He's already opted out of arbitration. And for two, if you guys are fixing his prices as two corporation, then you're price fixing. He's saying that there's a third app, an app called Hum. That app called Hum will allow him to charge a price that he's comfortable with. If Lyft says, hey, Uber, we'll send you guys clients. Uber says, hey, we're going to send Lyft some clients, but I can't be a Hum representative in all of this. I can say, hey, how about Hum? I can put them on Hum and I can get paid more. Oh, no, if you're going to bring Hum to the table, we're going to deactivate you. We're going to that means these two are price fixing and they're locking out competition by threatening to get rid of me. Competition by saying you using Hum pays you better and it takes care of the rider, but we don't want that. We want to fix the market. Let them deactivate me. Watch what happens. I'm telling you, there's a lot of shit going on and people ain't paying attention to what's going on. There's lawsuits going on about what I'm doing right now. Please deactivate me. Trust me, I'm going to pull up in the motherfucking Lambo. And now you kind of see why I do what I do. I'm not scared of these apps. If you look at the last video I dropped about how I converted, Hum ride, Uber ride into a Hum ride, you can see a lot of people in their comment, oh man, you're gonna get deactivated, man. Don't do that, bro. So many people are scared of these apps. Drivers are fighting these apps. Law firms are fighting these apps. A lot of people are fighting these apps. Makes me no different. I'm fighting these apps in the streets every day. I know they're lying. I know they're scheming. I know about antitrust law. I've discussed this many, many times on this channel, where a lot of channels are just now talking about it. So a lot of people are late to the party. Short bus is just pulling up. Trust me. These apps know what they're doing. They know what antitrust laws are. They know what price fixing looks like. They can sit there and say drivers are making $125,000 a year, but yet you netting $35,000, $40,000, $50,000. How is that? You ain't set no prices, but they're claiming, Uber and Lyft claims, you set the price. You're not setting the price. You're agreeing on an upfront fare. You're agreeing on a rate card. That's what you're doing. You never set your price. You're not an independent contractor unless you can set your own price. Why do you think all these lawsuits are going through right now? Am I the only strong one in the building? Am I the only strong YouTuber in the building? We got a lot of strong drivers out there that don't have YouTube channels. Strong drivers fighting these apps every day. Strong drivers in the comments saying, Jeff, you doing it, man. This is what it really takes to fight these apps. You doing it. These apps ain't got shit on me. They ain't. I know antitrust law. They know antitrust law. What they bank on is idiot, scared, chicken shit drivers. They don't do that, man. You're going to get deactivated, man. I don't want to see you get... Please, deactivate me. Watch what happens. I'm already opted out of arbitration. Deactivate me. Just me. I ain't going to court with nobody. Just me, you, and all my attorneys. And trust me, they're going to say they're price fixing against Jeff. Jeff already said this is how much he'll take for that ride. Uber just said, hey, this ride is $90. Jeff just said this ride is $80. The person was agreeing to pay $80. How come Jeff didn't get $80? Oh, because, well, he agreed on taking $32. I never agreed on $32. I'm a negotiator. I'm an independent contractor. I don't think $32 is right. So I'm like, if I don't want to take $32, you selling this ride for $90, we're going to do it on Hum. Hum's another app. I'll do it for $70, $80 on Hum. It's just another app. So you still gonna get from point A to point B. You're using competitive business practices. We have a right to compete. Every customer has a right to sit there and go, option A, B, or C. But we got a lot of drivers that don't believe option A, B, and C exists. They believe in option A, B, Uber, Lyft. That's all they do. You're gonna get deactivated if you use option C. You're gonna get, no, I'm not. If you deactivate me, then I have a case. I have a case that you're price fixing to keep me out of the market, to keep Hum out of the market. I know what this is. If you keep Hum out of the market based on deactivating me, getting rid of me, being an independent contractor, that's violation of the antitrust law. Try me. A lot of attorneys are in court over this right now. Try me. And I hope the drivers that are in my comments going, Jeff, you're going to get deactivated. And when you see me pulling up in a big ass Lambo, I don't drive Uber and Lyft no more. Well, the only reason why you got that money is from that lawsuit. You're not a good driver. You got deactivated. You're not a good driver. Only way you got that $2 million is from a lawsuit. You ain't a good driver. I'm a smart driver. I never said I was a good driver. I'm a smart driver. Motherfucker, checkmate.